Howdy, lieutenants and economists.
The most volatile, evil, disgusting things on the planet, humans. If you have a video request, you can always go to assholeconsulting.com.
Yeah, I am gonna charge you, kids. And that is the importance of not fucking up.
You are such an asshole!
assholeconsulting.com. How you kids doing? We are finally cleaning up that mess where I was not getting everybody's email. So we have a request from Stefan, and Stefan writes, where do we go? Here we are. Hey, I've watched a few of your videos. I'm a consultant as well, so the videos are fun because it actually helps me refine my craft. It's nice to hear another consultant speak. I don't know if you'd consider me a consultant. I'm not. This isn't like Bain or McKinsey. I work at Deloitte & Touche's, consulting division. This is just a guy who had enough fucking bullshit, calls it as he sees it, and I give the kiddos an explanation B as to why they've followed Plan A, and Plan A isn't exactly working out. So I don't know if that's a consultant, but that's because I don't run into real consultants often. You haven't ran into one here. You haven't. The name consultant has gotten a bad rap. But, dude, that's because most consultants aren't consultant. I mean, what's a consultant? Even the professional consultants are bullshit anyway. Their scam, their racket is, we came from this prestigiously named thing, and I have an MBA, and I'm at, there was Anderson Consulting. That was long time ago. Now it's Accenture. I'd even say the professional consultants are bullshit. So but I guess it's better than life coach or influencer. Oh, for fuck's sake, I don't want that. But yeah, let's not take ourselves too seriously here. Anyhow, various times I ran a bit on the left, though for me at least, not in a way that really crosses a line. I'm not left, but also not right. My question is why I actually often agree with your assertions and characterizations of the left. I've rarely heard you rant against the right and all the craziness there, or do you just not think there is any craziness there? Sometimes I want to relate to more people, understand their point of view, but when it comes across so one-sided, I wonder where it comes from. I was genuinely curious. Have a good one, best. Stefan Hope, Nice Guy Consulting. All right, so this is an actually interesting question and a fair one, so I did want to take a little bit of notes. But what it boils down to is an issue of threat assessment. What is the biggest threat? And especially now, see, because I dropped out of politics, 3-4 years ago, because I just can't take it anymore. And what you would start to see is, again, what I refer to as the finery, the fineness of the net of the internet, dredging up the world's ugliest sea creatures from the seabed. And it's a debate. We'll never know. Is society getting worse? Are we seeing unacceptable behavior across all political spectrums and any other type of group of people? Are we seeing that because society is getting worse, or has this degeneracy of society always been there? We're just able to see a lot more of it because the internet is a very fine net and it pulls up everything. In the olden days, you had to be a Ted Bundy, you had to be a murderer or something really bad. But how many uncles were dirty uncles? Sexually abusing their nieces and nephews. That the internet didn't get that. That probably was swept up under the rug long ago. I think a lot of that also now is with politics. Because what you will find, and this is in part why I couldn't take politics anymore, because it painted, and that whatever ugly creature was pulled up from the net, on the right or the left, was immediately rushed to the front headlines of the media, because it got clicks, because it was brown journalism, because it was sensationalism. And what I saw happening both on the right and the left is, there's a dipshit crazy guy or gal on the right, and there's a dipshit crazy guy or gal on the left. And one of them, one thing in particular I remember where you can't even trust, you can't trust Fox News. I certainly don't trust CNN. Was Ben Shapiro's site or something associated with Ben Shapiro. There was a school here in the Twin Cities where one of the schools wanted to find minority music composers, classical music composers, not Cardi B, not the shit slop we got today, like old school symphonic music composers, because if you think about it, there really isn't that many. It's predominantly a male European affair. So they went and they pulled that up for kids in the music, but the Shapiro news outlet spun it, oh, they refuse to have white composers. And if you just read the headlines, you'd be pissed off because, like, God damn it, white people, they work really hard. The music composer, symphonic music is opera. Maybe you don't like it, but that's culture. Well, it wasn't anything as that. It got a right-wing spin to the point that it was wrong. And you're like, yeah, I could kind of see if you're a Hispanic kid and you're really into music, and you got Mozart, you got Beethoven, you got Bach. Well, and my own kind of curiosity, well, wasn't there, it's like the black guy playing hockey, that one guy, like, hey, is there a black guy playing? There is. I don't know his name, I think he's in Boston. But out of pure curiosity. And then you kind of like, well, I'd like to have someone to look up to because of tribalism and all that. Okay, I could see where that would go. But it wasn't spun that way. And so now that taints all of Fox News, all of right-wing news. And then you have fake news, and you got these hyperbolic sites that just go and attack fear and drama and weaponize each other against one another because it just gets a rise out of people. That's what brings in the clicks. So it's not yellow journalism, it's brown. And don't even start me with media in general, because the media is hugely biased to the left. I remember in the 90s, the Star Tribune across the street, across the river, always telling me what a bad person I was. This is in the 90s, telling me what a bad person I was because I was white and I had a penis. And it's just like, and then you'd meet journalism majors. They had no intention of reporting the news. They were all left. So you knew the media already had a bias to the left. But then when you had the alternative media come in and a Drudge Report, all sensationalism, all, oh my God, the sky is falling. And in some cases it is. But is that really what it is? Or did you spin it and I just couldn't take it anymore? Well, that's too damn short. So we have to get that. I think we got to clear out that noise. And that's what I've done. And what I did is I went back to before we had the internet all the time on it, and I looked at general historical. This is why it's important to study history. Look at budgets. I know that's a crazy idea. Look at budgets, government spending as a percentage of GDP. What do we spend our money on? And then I look at other things that are empirical, like what's being taught at the fucking schools. And when you take this in, what you're going to realize is that the bigger threat between the left or the right wing is definitely on the left. It's definitely on the left. We can even take my personal politics out of it. And if I had to look at a threat assessment or whatever and look, okay, who poses a bigger threat to the United States or Western civilization in general? Is it the right or the left? By far, it's the left. This is like going on Iwo Jima as a medic, and you got a guy whose leg is blown off, his arm is severed, and he's got a gut wound, and compared to a guy who got a paper cut in terms of what is a bigger threat to the life of the United States and the West in general. And the reason why is the cost and consequences of going with the left. Right now, what's the right? I mean, even in the 80s and the heydays of the religious right, the right threatens at most some social freedoms, where you can't smoke pot. They're going to be anti-abortion. Me being a libertarian, I'm like, no, you're not going to get rid of. You should legalize pot. No, you're not going to get rid of the right to an abortion. All this other stuff. But we're not talking about we're going to steal everybody's assets and wealth. Right now we're taxed at a 40% rate. Trust me, go look it up. Go do your math and do your economics. We're already at a 40%. We're not a capitalist nation, right? We pay off for a lot of other people's shit. And now that's apparently not enough. We need even more. That is a bigger threat than someone at the 700 Club that is going to come in and regrettably so try and ban the video games I have because it's violent. Although we could say the left does that too, because there was a video game. It was a video game out of Japan well, it's in Japan, but it's not being sold here in the United States. It's a volleyball game. It's like Dead or Alive volleyball. And it's got chicks and big boobs and stuff like that. And that's degrading to women. Well, Jesus Christ, a lot of time now you're seeing the left even getting into this Nazi-like 700 Club thing, banning things they don't like. You could even say guns. Well, that's kind of a social freedom, don't you think? So, I mean, even stuff that would be a social freedom that you think the left would be for, even they're against it and their pet causes and all that. But getting back to my original point, the biggest threat I see coming from the right is, hey, we don't want you to have abortion. We might have some moral codes on you, but it's coming nowhere near this theocracy like the Saudis have, where women are going to be put in burqas and you got rules and regulations whether you can leave the house or not. And I would also say that the right, that religious right, is no longer there. They no longer have any of the power they might have in the 80s. Because I think a lot of people, especially conservatives, are more libertarian. I was like, yeah, I don't know one of even my Republican friends, libertarian, are like, yeah, gay rights, go get married, go do whatever you want. I don't know any of my Republican friends. They may be, okay, I know one or two who are against gay marriage on religious grounds, but they don't harbor any ill will to the gay community or gays or lesbians or anything like that. More hate the sin, love the sinner type of stuff. Nor are they like saying, hey, you can live together, you just can't be married. I mean, that's like the biggest threat coming from the right. And again, I don't agree with those positions, but okay, gays don't get married. There might be some restrictions on abortion. We might ban your comic books. But even then, that's not a threat. That's never going to make it. It's not going to happen. There's too many libertarian type or moderate, socially moderate Republicans to let that happen. It's not a real threat. Now, let's look at the left. The things that the left threaten are hugely more important and dangerous to all of society, including themselves, because it targets the economy. And boiling it very simply down, the left just wants other people's shit. They want free shit. If we look at history, how does free shit work? All right, well, there's Venezuela, there's Russia, there's Cambodia, there's Vietnam, there's China, and it wasn't until they got rid of communism, either officially like Russia did, or unofficially like Deng Xiaoping did in China, and there was an economic revolution and we're communists, that kind of thing. That did they actually recover from that? If you implemented social, you got what North Korea and Cuba, starvation, mass death, without fucking war. Stalin killed more people without firing bullets. Hitler could bow down to Mao Zedong and Stalin. Like, wow, you didn't fire one shot. You just starved those fuckers out. They got rolling blackouts now. We could talk about Zimbabwe in a land confiscation thing, what happened to their economy and the reform, and hyperinflation. And I love everyone to go run into the Scandinavians. Yeah, all 7 million of them. All these Nordic Swedes who had to kind of like survive together, this very homogenistic society. Like, well, see, it works there, it works there. I mean, Mao Zedong killed like 8 times the number of people who are successfully living under communism light. There's still a private sector. The government hasn't taken it all over. And is the only thing we can point to that isn't and then Norway's got oil, so you can only look at Finland and Sweden. Maybe Denmark. The empirical data of the success of socialism really isn't that good. It's a bad track record. Because for every Sven or Oli, there's 1,000 Changs, Yangs, or Lord knows who else is in North Korea either dying because of starvation or under a true dictatorship or suffering under Maduro as a Jose or a Camellia. So this is a real threat to your livelihood, to your health, to your mentality, and let's not talk about simple old morality. Fuck all you goddamn Democrats. I work for my fucking shit. All the Democrats want, all socialists, all left in general, all the left wants in general is for you to work more and be their goddamn slave. That is despicable. It's parasitic, it's wrong, it's evil, it's theft. I don't know how much you want my shit. You want me to work harder so that you don't have to. Period. End of discussion. And what's particularly disgusting and despicable and cowardly of the left is they will go and run and hide behind any kind of excuse to try and make it look like you're the bad guy. They'll hide behind their skin color, they'll hide behind their gender, they'll hide behind their belief of whatever they think gender they are, they'll hide behind a disability they don't have or made up. Did you notice how everyone, oh my God, I got it. In my day, it was dyslexia. And people would get a government check for going to school. You have dyslexia, you need extra time, here's some more money. And, oh, you get gravy train. I mean, oh, I'm disabled. I mean, whatever variant. Oh, and come on me up with lies like, oh, you got privilege. Oh, God, don't start me about feminism. Here's all the money in the world and the support, and we will bow down and kiss your girl's vagina and give you, oh yes, you're still oppressed. You're still, it's not that you made your stupid shit. No, you're still oppressed. It's just a cowardly, weak grab to make you work more, pay more in taxes, be a slave for 50% of your life, look up the stats, look up the statistics, look at the taxation, for them just to live free and off of you. That's it. It's not nuanced. It's not philosophical. It's not Noam Chomsky-esque. It's not intelligent. It's simple laziness, sloth, and parasitism. And soon, if you eat away at enough of the host will die, there won't be electricity, there won't be food, and then you got Venezuela. The only thing we got going for us now is that we have the world's reserve currency and we can print ourselves out of these problems. The bankers fucked up, and the people, by the way, who borrowed more than they shouldn't have. Let's not all lay it on the bankers there, all right? They fucked up, well, we'll just print it all off. Everyone thinks that's capitalism. That's not capitalism. The government bailing out corporations, that is strictly socialism. That is definitely socialism. They should have let those fuckers burn. Oh, I wonder if we're going to do the same thing with the millennial generation of dipshit kids who don't know how loans work, who signed on the dotted line, stole, didn't borrow. They want to steal taxpayer money so that they could go party and have the college experience, major in the world's dumbest fucking shit, so that they can live off of you again on the order of $1 trillion, so that they could go and party. Oh my God, I'm an education major. I'm minoring in women. I'm just so intelligent. I just got to write my poetry at the coffee store at $7 a shot for espresso as I have my $8 avocado and toast. I can't pay that back. You know what? It's patriarchy and sexism. And now all you people should pay for me and my 4 years at college. Because I'm oppressed. I mean, that's real. That is real. Elizabeth Warren, not a right-winger, is the one who's advocating, we got to bail out. How many Democrats are advocating bailing out the students for the student loans? Again, I don't care how pretty it sounds or how you paint it, it's theft. They're parasites, and it's enslavement of you and anybody else who works for a living and actually pays their fucking bills on time. Any of us adults. Right? And that is in the institutions, which is a second major point that I want to point out to you. You show me where right-wing, you can't even call it propaganda, but just right-wing conservative, political, capitalist, free market thought is in our established institutions. It sure the fuck is not in K through college. I got a buddy, Hamilton International School in Seattle. He sent me all these pictures. This is a poster of a kind of a Barack Obama Hope poster, that kind of art style. And it's just a little girl, she's looking up. It says, women are perfect. Are you fucking joking me? And then there's another picture of Black Lives Matter banner. These are kids. Now, there was also a flyer for youth non-binary camp. Oh, there's no pedos there. Yeah, that's real good to send 8, 9, 10-year-old kids off to a pedo camp. Is that right wing? That's not right wing. And that is not an institution that the right wing has power. The left has complete power and control and are pushing a very clear agenda, which I don't know about you, but maybe you ought to let a kid turn 12 or 13 and hit puberty before they figure out what their gender is. Maybe it's not the teacher's fucking business talking about gender and sexuality. Maybe that's the parent's responsibility and up to the kid. And maybe politics isn't also the domain of K through college. Maybe you should just teach reading, writing, arithmetic, get these kids a good education, and let politics be their own personal affair. Oh no. You know it. Everybody else knows it. Every day. And it's not right wing. There's not one crazy thing happening at the University of wherever where, hey, they advocated a 10% flat tax and the elimination of all. It's not there. It's always some crazy, I mean, what was it? One gal, they're offering an angry white male studies class. About once a month, there's a professor that goes off against whites or males or both. It is very clear in one of our main institutions, and that is academia, and I don't just mean college, I mean kindergarten through college, where their politics lie and who controls that institution. Government, don't even get the nature of government, is just to spend more money. Government workers, government unions, they're all vote left, they just want more money. The media, don't even get me, God almighty, don't start me. Don't tell me there's not a bias there in Hollywood. Don't tell me there's not a bias in the mainstream media. Hey, here's what's the flat ass chick's name? God, they shoved that in our face. Captain Marvel. Oh my God, feminist Ghostbusters. It's like, can I just watch like fucking John Wick or Shazam? Can I just have a good fucking movie without the politics and bullshit? No. And you can even say now in corporate America with departments like diversity and inclusion and how they are just rank masturbating and jizzing out by mass quantities this social justice warrior virtue signaling corporate marketing bullshit. We're body positive. Again, I don't think corporate America is totally taken over, and I think their incentives are ulterior. They're just selling to millennial dipshits who just can't buy a fucking coffee mug. They need to have an organic, fair trade coffee mug. Because they're doing good, whereas I live at home with my parents. But that is partially co-opted as well. All the main institutions, they're not there serving their original function of governance, education, or entertainment. They're doing politics, and maybe we'll get around to actually governing, maybe we'll actually get around to educating, and maybe we might send you a bone or two for entertainment. Right? And then, corporate America again, they'll fire people. The Brendan Ike episode, we made a donation to a proposition in California that would have banned gay marriage. They fired him from his own company, which is why you never give up more than 50%. And you're like, fuck you, I'm the board. These instances that are not the sky is falling right-wing spin from a Fox News or a Ben Shapiro or a quasi-fake news right-wing site, That's not an article a la the Daily Mail where the title is only read and when you get to the details you find out they're spinning the hell out of it. This is real shit happening at our institutions, becoming policy and law. Didn't California just make coffee a carcinogen? Don't you have to print label? The plastic straws, now you have to have paper straws. Banning plastic bags? Who's that? That's not only policy now. Gotta go to Seattle and Tacoma. You can't have a bag at the grocery store. Who is that? Is that Ronald Reaganites? Is that Reaganauts? Is that Barry Goldwaters? Is that conservative Rush Limbaugh's? No, that's the left. And not only is it the left, that's leftist policies being implemented and ruining people's lives. Go to Tacoma, see what a shitty shithole it is. Tacoma. White people's answer to Detroit will be even shittier, by God. I mean, it's just... and what happens when the right takes over? What's the worst they had? I think in South Dakota they had open conceal. Donald Trump and the Republicans, they got a tax bill through. They aren't shoving their dicks up your personal life of an ass. Telling you can't have bags, you gotta have plastic straws. I mean, that's the left. In other words, what I'm talking about is you have institutions that are explicitly leftist, and because they're institutions, either by the products they produce or if they're in the government, the laws and policies and ordinances they vote in and enact upon the people, it's becoming reality. Has anyone prevented you from getting an abortion or a vasectomy? Has anyone prevented you from, I'm trying to think, from dating a guy? Not that you're gay, I'm just, if you want to date a guy, could you? Right? Because That's not conservatives, Republicans are like, yeah, do your own shit. It's the left in an ironic sense getting in everybody's personal business, telling them what has to be in their house and the cars and this and that. You know, now Minnesota's got this, you can't talk on the phone, a cell phone law, which I understand the argument on that. But mostly it's like, dude, I think you can talk on the phone and drive at the same time. Maybe not text and drive at the same time. I think you can talk on the phone and drive at the same time. You can drink, soda. You can have a phone while you're looking and driving. And then finally, even though I mentioned it before, because it all starts here, it all starts there. The left is in absolute control of academia. And the reason why is they want to brainwash the kids. That poster over at the Hamilton International School in Seattle, where it's like, hey, let's go to a youth camp for non-binary amorphous sexuality. All right. Again, I'm not against having kids have an outlet when you hit puberty, saying, I don't know if I like guys, I don't know if I like girls. And they're like, okay, well, let's talk about that. But we're not going to have a fucking camp. Because that's indoctrination. And that is where all future kids come from. That's why the Democrats and socialists and Marxists, they got to take over education. That's why they want early childhood education. That's why they don't want moms raising their own. That's why they hate stay-at-home moms. They hate nuclear families. They want control of the kids so that they can brainwash the kids to become good little socialist, Marxist, Democrat voting automatons so that they stay in power. And the rank propaganda. Forget it. Education is like 5th or 6th place in terms of actual reasons kids go to school now. The main one is we got to get you in here so we can brainwash you to become nice little Marxist socialist voters. That's it. Don't tell me it's anything different. Show me where that happens, aside from parochial religious schools. I understand, but that's the stated intent. We are a Catholic school. We're probably going to teach Catholicism. But in the public schools, why are they trying to teach kids politics of the leftist stripe? Why are they trying to embed that in these kids? And that's a big direct threat, because they're going after your goddamn kids. I mean, now, conservative parents, even if they are Republican, don't give a shit, because frankly, they love their careers more. Kids off to school, career. The number of Republicans, I can't believe what they're teaching in the schools. I can't vote in, enough money, not enough money's too good for my children. So I'm a bit defeatist and don't give a shit there. But if you want proof that a bigger threat, which is the bigger threat, conservatives that might take away your gay rights or might ban some comic books, or hey, we might ban video games, even though it's feminist leftists that ban the video game. Or, hey, we want to take your 6-year-old kid and teach him it's all right if Bobby wants to suck a penis, which it is okay, just not at 6 years old. Maybe we want to wait, until they're 13 and ask these questions, not when Bobby just wants to play with a freaking frog. Maybe you let kids be kids. Is that an idea as to how evil and vile and how scrupuleless that the left is? They will go after single-digit age children to indoctrinate them. They just can't let the kids be fucking kids. We got to teach them about privilege. We got to teach them about racism. We got to teach. Oh boy, you may like Jimmy. You may like Susie. I know you're 7, but don't you? We got a camp. Fuck. Who do you think's evil? I really. So that's why the left is not only are the consequences of leftism and socialism much worse than what the consequences of rightism would be. But the left has taken over most of the main institutions. And they are, at best, using it to sell and dupe naive millennials into buying their products. But worse, they're just doing it because then you go vote for the Democrats, you go to vote for the left. I mean, my God, look at Mexico, the history of Mexico, and how the PRI just held those people hostage for 70 years? You could vote, but there really was no democracy or freedom down there. Also the effective lack of democracy, because kids are just brainwashed to vote. the fact that because the Democrats and the left are in positions of power, that their laws are becoming effective. And the laws of politics, I mean, like, either effective through people's political philosophy as children being indoctrinated, or actual laws being passed. I mean, God almighty, look at those nut jobs in Seattle. State constitution says, no, it's in the, those are the rules. There's no way a city can impose an income tax. What does Seattle do? Try to impose an income tax. Supreme Court, it's struck down. Those are the rules. They have no respect for the law. And just how far they'll go, they don't care. They'll take kids. They're goddamn vampires, man. They'll feast on little kids as long as they get them shekels, as long as they get some political power. And then academia, I mean, just look at the insanity going on there. Yes, we could argue the fine net argument that we argued before, but it makes you wonder, okay, you go to school, why am I spending $70 grand a year to go to this school to be told I'm an asshole and this and that? I mean, forget it. It's very clear which political party or side is the bigger threat to society. Not only in terms of the consequences, but how well ensconced and entrenched they are and how much progress they've made and what they're trying to pass. I don't try and get worked up about anymore. You can read my book, Enjoy the Decline. But if you want to know why focus on the left so much, because that is the clear and present danger. And if it were to have some kind of huge revolution, and all of a sudden the right were to start to get into power, and they start saying, we're going to ban video games, and we're going to make sure that gays can't get married, and by God, we're going to have a state religion, then I'd be the first one to say, hey, no, you're not. And then I'd actually start attacking the right. But you know what? The right isn't demanding I pay more of my money so they can breed out illegitimate rat bastard children as single moms. The right is not telling me I owe more in taxes. The right is not telling me I have guilt because I was born with a certain dick and a certain skin color. The right is not villainizing me. The right doesn't fucking harass and hound me on television and media and news about politics or anything like that. The right isn't telling me that they gotta go educate their kids about sexuality and all that other shit at 7 or 8 years old. That's not coming from the right. For the most part, the right is like, I don't care what you do, go do your goddamn thing. Which would be freedom, I don't know. It'd be some courtesy and self-respect. But the left, man, they want to get inside your ass, out your nostril, and then come back inside your ass and out your nostril. And say, see how good we are for you. So that's it. All right, questions, answers, AstroConsulting.com. I'm going to go golf before I die. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.